Hey guys, this is Brad from Blue Nile Farm. Welcome to another episode. Today we're going to talk about the difference between living a country lifestyle and living creating an ag business. Because there's a big difference between living in the country and creating an ag business. You know, when I moved out to the country, my plan and my goal my entire life has been to have an ag business. I always wanted to be a farmer. I wanted to generate income as a farmer, and I just was driven to this since I was a little kid. Some people, though, move out to the country and realize that there's money to be made to live in an ag lifestyle. And that is true. And it gives you more luxury and opportunity that exists that you don't necessarily have if you live in the suburbs. And the reason for that is because you have the opportunity to make money off the land or off the equipment that you use to maintain the land. So you need to kind of be creative in how you do things. And the more you practice and the more attachments you have, it opens up more doors. So for me, the growth of my farm, the growth of my equipment, the growth of my income streams in my life not only takes place from the years of me working my full-time job, through, blood, sweat, and tears of work, but on my farm, developing my farm to become an ag business has allowed me to create growth, to purchase lots of equipment, and it just kind of keeps rolling over, and it's like a back and forth all the time. But I have no regrets for that because that has been my goal. So if you're interested in acquiring equipment, paying off equipment, and rebuilding and defining yourself to a new lifestyle, and take yourself from just country life, living in the country, to creating an ag business, farm life has that opportunity for you, and it's something that you should embrace. And it allows you to expand any operation that you have, and I think you're going to be very happy for doing so. And that's just something that takes the extra effort on your end to whether you want to do this kind of stuff. To me, this has been my goal, like I said, in my dream. So how do you do all this? How do you create an ag business? Well, you can produce a product of a plant and sell it. People make money doing that. And it doesn't matter whether it's fruits and vegetables or it's actually just the plants themselves. There's money to be made. You can also make money off the resources off the land, whether it's the firewood, the dirt, whether you're selling fill. But there's ways to generate money that way. Or crops, if you plant, some of the traditional crops like soybeans, corn, or even produce hay. That's money to be made. A lot of people go the livestock route, where they raise different livestock and make money off of that. Sometimes you can make money off the equipment that you have, and it helps pay off the equipment that you're using. Or you can do a combination of everything and add it all together and be able to create multiple income streams, which is what I have done. It has taken me many, many years to create income streams. So you have to be creative in what you can do to develop yourself from just living in the country to creating an ag business. And there's so much that's out there, and sometimes you have to just think out of the box. That's why it's very hard to explain this to people, because everybody wants a simple answer. How do you go about doing it? Well, the part of the problem is you have to decide what geographical area that you live at, and is this going to be something that you can do? Let me give you an example. If you're in the middle of nowhere and you want to board horses, and you're not around a town or an area where people have that need or desire to board horses, you're not going to be able to fulfill that obligation for boarding. But if you live away just nearly a few miles from the city, and a lot of city people want to buy a horse and board their horse, you're probably going to have a better opportunity not only to charge a larger fee, but also to fulfill your barn and keep boarders in it. So it all depends geographically on where you're at. Same thing with producing produce. If you don't have a market for it, maybe you want to have a direct market to some local sales. But the problem is, if you're in the boonies and nobody's around you and the nearest town is a half hour away, you may not have that luxury. So those are possible issues. So you need to kind of figure out where can you create markets. Firewood, the same thing. I live in a area where there's a lot of campers coming through. So for me to sell firewood, that has an opportunity, but there's a lot of people in my area that are also doing the same thing, so there's a competitional issue. again, depending on where you live is going to dictate what kind of ag business that you have. But if you have construction type equipment and you use it on your farm, you'll be able to kind of market it that way. Or say you want to do traditional farming and you have guys in your area that have fallow ground that's not being used, you can possibly run it and basically turn it into a traditional farm. Or same thing with livestock. If you have livestock and you get into being a breeder, or maybe you're selling specific animals to a specific niche market, ethnic markets like goats, sheep, and you hit that ethnic market, you can get top dollar for it. These are things that you need to kind of pay attention to so you can create income streams to expand your operation. So what I'm trying to say is that no matter what you do, you have to think out of the box and don't do what everybody else is doing and try to be a standalone, unique individual. And that will open up a lot of doors. But, being creative and creating an ag business is a dream for most people, and it has a possibility for growth. It just depends on what you do, and you have to do your research. And again, whether you're using YouTube or whether you're using Chat GPT as a way of gathering information, I think that's a great tool that you should have. And I think it'll open up a lot of doors for you. And you just have to be creative in what you do. And I think that down the road, it's going to make a big difference in your success. Because everybody that starts farming wants to be successful. But the problem is a lot of guys want to go and buy a crappy tractor and a crappy equipment. And when it breaks down and you're on a time-sensitive issue when it comes down to harvesting, you can't afford to be down. So buying equipment in the farming world is very, very expensive. Don't be shocked when your equipment's cost, just my hay equipment, just to do a hay operation. The equipment that I personally own is over $100,000. Then if you don't have a facility to put this hay in, you're kind of fighting the weather and the quality of your operation. I just had this year a building that fell down because of a snow load, and I'm going to be reinvesting, which I'll create another YouTube explaining this, a large amount of money to build several different barns, and these barns have to generate income. The difference is I've created an income stream from previous, so I know what I'm walking into, versus coming out of the blue and say, I want to build a building today. Buildings are very expensive, but you need to come up with a way to pay for them, and you can't always pay for something just off your job. You need to be able to funnel the money back in to pay off this equipment quickly. And that's where having an income stream makes it beneficial to live in the country. So, these are just foods for thoughts, and this is just a basic, video where we're not really giving you details. I'm just trying to let you think out of the box, but I want you to understand that you have such an ability to create a niche marketing. You just have to decide where you're at geographically, how you can make money, and how you can turn it right back into your business, and you can expand and grow. But if it's coming out of your salary, you may not have that luxury of that kind of growth. So it's always better to start a business and kind of build off of it. And that's my opinion, and it's worked well for me, and it probably worked well for you. So with that said, hey, thanks for watching. I know this is a short little video, but I just wanted to cover the difference between living in the country and creating an ag business, because ag businesses really can take off for you. You're just going to have to put the time and effort into it. And that's part of the reason why we all move out to the country, is to create a way of making an additional income. At least I have. Hopefully you think the same way. With that said, talk to you guys later. Stay tuned to our future videos on this topic, because this series is going to have a lot of different videos on how to live a country life and how to start a farm from scratch, because a lot of people really don't know what they're doing, and I'm hoping that I can help you guys come along the way, because I had to learn this the hard way because nobody was there to help me, and I'm hoping I'm the one that can help you. So with that said, take care, guys. I'll talk to you soon.